Alright, see if I can get this camera set. Alright guys, we got a big Jayco, got a big chip in the windshield. You can see it from down here. So we're going to climb up here. The gentleman was nice enough to provide me with a ladder. There it is. That's a big one. And that pit brake is not deep enough to accept resin, so we got to drill it. You just got this chip today?
2 hours ago.
2 hours ago, he said. Got this chip 2 hours ago. You're going to have some wind to deal with, my friends. That's part of working outside. Now we want to get to the pocket. There we go. We're at the pocket. Alright. You'll notice when I'm drilling, I'm going in and out really slow because I just want to hit the pocket in there. I don't want to hit the laminate in the middle. And that in itself is an art form. Being able to hit that pocket without hitting the laminate, that took some practice. Don't want to use that one. Want to use this one because I got a brand new seal in it. It'll make it much easier to remove the seal, because as you can see, this windshield is like a semi-truck. It's basically just flat, straight up and down. So that means I have to make sure this is centered on the brake, on the drill mark. Yep, it is. That means I have to fill my tool from the bottom. Because the windshield's straight up and down, I can't just pour resin in the tool this way because it's sitting like this. So we got to take the seal out. We can put this tool away. And I think we're a little bit warm to the touch. I think the CR resin will work. So we're at that time of year where different temperatures will determine the resin that I use. If the windshield's warm to the touch, I can use the crack fill resin. Better go with 12. And if it's neutral, like if it's the same temperature as my skin, sometimes I'll use the crack fill, sometimes I'll use the thin resin. But we're at the time of year where I rarely, if ever, use the medium. Because the medium is a much thicker resin.
Yeah, when it's colder, it'd be harder to flow.
Yeah, the resin, the windshield's got to be fairly warm for that resin to flow good. Now we bring the resin right up to the edge. We want it to slightly crest, because that creates like a vacuum inside there. It keeps it from flowing out when I put the tool back in the windshield. Or the tool, I mean, the tool back in the bridge. There we go. Now the first thing we do, of course, when we do this is we pull a vacuum. So with the wind blowing and it being somewhat chilly out here, and me riding a motorcycle, of course, I can't carry a ladder. So this gentleman was nice enough to provide me with a ladder. I don't get a lot of motorhome repairs. I would like to get more. And if I was getting a lot, then I would have to figure out a way to carry a ladder or a step ladder or something with me. And I could figure that out fairly easily. And there we go, she's starting to fill. Now we do have to keep it shaded. I don't know where exactly the sun is. We've got to keep the sun off of it while it fills, because we don't want it to cure before it's completely filled. Now, I'm looking at that line on the other side. Yeah, we're good. This line's filling. The line on the bottom is filling. Have to look at it from different angles because, like I said, your perception will be off if you're looking at it from just one angle. Pull another vacuum. Get more air out of it. Pull a full vacuum and then pressurize again. So I've decided to do a couple of things with my tools now, because sometimes I need the seal to be softer, like this one, so the resin plays on the seal, right, and it makes it really soft like this and fat, and that's great for covering bigger pit breaks, but it's not good for having to remove the seal to do a chip like this. So what I'm doing is I'm alternating my replacements on the seals. So this way, this seal's brand new, so I can remove it when I'm working on semi-trucks or flat windshields like motorhomes. And when I replace this seal the next time, or when I replace the other seal, by the time I replace it, this one will be fat. So I'll just alternate. And that way I can keep one soft and one new, so that I can do the repairs like this when I have to put the resin in the bottom of the tool. And I'm not fighting with a fat seal trying to get it back in the tool. So this won't be 100% invisible, but it's going to look a lot better.
Oh, I know. I was more worried about it crack because that windshield's like $2,600.
Oh yeah, they're expensive. I just like to let people know that it's not going to be 100% invisible.
Yeah.
I think you'll be shocked at how good it looks when I'm done.
It's not my direct line of sight looking at the road. So
Right.
it won't bother me. Yeah, my neighbor, I know a lot of people have motorhomes. He went to California and he got a break, but before he got home, went clear across the Windshield.
Wow.
And I was worried driving home that it was going to do that.
Yeah, because they're cracking easier and easier these days.
Yeah.
I really want to get this line over here to fill more, but I'm afraid if I keep putting more and more pressure on it, that it can grow. We don't want that to happen. Let's do one more cycle.
Yeah, the road was pretty rough, so I was, these things move around a lot, and the wind didn't
Yeah.
help anything, so I was really concerned.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I would have been concerned as well.
So that's the first thing I did when I got home.
Googled windshield repair,
Yep,
and I popped up.
yep.
How far down the list was I?
I don't know, like third.
Really? Oh yeah, because you have the sponsored ones up above, huh? So as far as an organic listing not being sponsored, I was up there at the top. That's a beautiful thing. Because Google constantly wants me to buy ads and all this other stuff.
I used to own a company, and yeah, they wanted me to do it too. And
You can grow organically just by making sure you update your profile constantly with before and after pictures and posts and things, kind of like social media. You just have to constantly update yourself.
right.
And if you're updating constantly and you're constantly getting reviews and stuff like that, you'll be right at the top. And I look at it like this: the people that are paying to be on top are too lazy to update their profile.
Yeah, I think you were right at the top of the list. I never call the sponsored ones.
Well, they're so expensive.
I didn't even look.
Well, they don't list their.
Right past them.
Yeah, they don't even list their prices because they're so expensive. You know, and like with the biggest one on there, you know who I'm talking about. You have to go online and put in your VIN number and all that crap just to get a price on a chip repair. Nobody needs a VIN number to repair a chip in a windshield. I'm sorry.
Right.
You don't need that.
Right.
You need it if you're going to do a replacement because you got to make sure you get the right windshield. But to do a chip repair, you don't need a VIN number and all that.
Yeah.
And that to me is just tells me that they're selling information or something, you know, because they don't need all that information. Once they get your VIN number, then they can get your name and your address, your phone number, your email, your date of birth, your blood type, and all that stuff, you know.
They do make a collapsible ladder.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them.
My neighbor over there for his motorhome, he has one.
It's just that I do so few of these,
Yeah.
you know, and most people that own motorhomes will have a ladder.
Well, I used to be an electrician, so
Yeah.
I have several.
Yeah, most people that have motorhomes have a ladder or a step ladder or something because they always need to be able to get up and clean their windshield or something, so they're always going to have a ladder on hand. So I never considered carrying one just because of that, because I get so few of them to do, and because I know they're all going to have one. I just never bothered to carry one.
Yeah.
Alright guys, that looks pretty doggone good, I'd say. That's a good clean repair. Little tiny air pocket in there that I didn't get, but you know, the lines are all filled. If the lines are filled, I know it's not going to crack. So let's get my mirror off the inside. We'll look at it from in here. Now I have a 35-minute ride to get to my next job. Crazy, right? Oh yeah, you can't even see it from in here. Beautiful. This looks like a bug splatter.
Yeah. And there's them on there all the time.
Right. That's a neat little digital air gauge.
Gotta have one, always gotta check my air pressures and everything.
Yep, gotta do that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was it on this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and share the video, and throw me a comment. I'll see you in the next one.